From Hollywood to your hometown, this is Celebrity Page TV. We're covering the top entertainment stories from around the world. I'm Sonia Isabel in the CelebrityPage.com New York City newsroom.
And I'm James Vaughn, working remotely, keeping you covered on the West Coast. Here's what's on today's episode.
From 90210's Steve to DC's Swamp, we're talking with Ian Ziering about his creepy comic book show.
Also, two former talk show hosts finding love on the big screen. Our conversation with Kathy Lee Gifford and Craig Ferguson about their new romantic comedy.
Plus, everything you need to know about the return of The Walking Dead and its brand new spinoff.
We're so glad you're with us, so let's kick things off with the return of Saturday Night Live. Here's today's dish.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Craig.
It's hard to believe, but this show last March was the last time we saw a live episode of SNL inside their studio.
And live from Zoom, it's sometime between March and August.
Yeah.
When New York and the rest of the country went on lockdown, Saturday Night Live turned into Saturday Night Taped at Home. Now the show is returning to its TV home, Studio 8H, inside 30 Rock, with host Chris Rock and musical guest Megan Thee Stallion.
So they just recently announced with SNL, you're going to have a live audience, which is awesome.
We don't just want to have like live laughs, and so we're gonna, put ourselves in danger. I mean, we're trying to do it as safely as possible, but it's great. I'm very excited to see how it works.
The cast reuniting in person to do what they do best.
The COVID stuff has really affected how I feel about it because, being away from people that make you laugh, at work in that way for this long really makes you appreciative.
Co-head writer and co-anchor of Weekend Update Colin Jost had been thinking of leaving the show, but decided instead to stay on for at least one more season. Also staying, Pete Davidson, even after making these comments during a radio interview earlier this year.
I personally think I should be done with that show because they make fun of me on it. I really wanted last year to be my last year, but I'm still around and trying to knock it away.
Despite airing his grievances in public, Pete returning for another season. Joining Pete will be 3 new cast members, Andrew Dismukes, Lauren Holt, and Punky Johnson. Also get ready to see more of Jim Carrey as the show announced he will be playing Vice President Joe Biden alongside Maya Rudolph as Senator Kamala Harris. Maya just winning an Emmy Award for the performance.
I'm also America's cool aunt.
Expect lots of political humor when the show returns to NBC on October 3rd, exactly 1 month before Election Day. The Dish continues now with more on the return of SNL. Us Weekly's Christina Garibaldi joins us. Christina, so great to see you. And we mentioned that Colin Jost was thinking of leaving the show. What are you hearing about his decision to return, and what, if any, impact it has on his engagement to Scarlett Johansson?
Sonia, these two are still going strong after getting engaged in May of 2019. And while she recently said no comment when asked about the wedding date, we think that babies may be on the brain for Colin. In his 2020 memoir, he wrote that he would love to be raising a baby right now, and he's definitely getting some practice with Scarlett's daughter, who we hear is absolutely obsessed with him, and that he loves playing with her, and that he's definitely a great father figure.
All right, let's turn to Pete Davidson. He was very outspoken that members of the cast were making fun of him, and he really thought it was time to go. Why do you think he ended up staying?
Now, we don't know exactly why he wanted to return, but maybe during his time off he got some clarity and the help that he needed. His best friend Machine Gun Kelly recently opened up about getting Pete a bed at a rehab facility in Malibu.
And before we let you go, tell us about Us Weekly's new cover story you guys are following.
Well, in this week's cover story, we are following Demi Lovato and Max Ulrich's really messy split. Of course, these two just called it quits after a 2-month engagement and just 6 months together. And Max claimed that he found out about their breakup in a tabloid. Now, these two no longer follow each other on Instagram. They've wiped each other clean from their Instagrams, so it seems like these two are definitely headed in 2 different directions after a very whirlwind romance.
All right, Christina, thanks so much as always. And for more stories like these, be sure to pick up the latest issue of Us Weekly.
Well, he is a long way from 90210. Ian Ziering is now hanging out in the swamp. And I got a chance to chat with Ian all about his role on the new Swamp Thing in this one-on-one.
We don't know what this is yet. The hospital is on it 24/7 and the CDC.
Sound hauntingly familiar? Swamp Thing about a deadly outbreak poisoning people out of nowhere. The series may have been canceled by DC Universe, but it's now getting a second chance on the CW. I caught up with the Blue Devil himself, Ian Ziering, to talk all about the show.
Were you a fan of those old Swamp Thing movies?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of comics, and Swamp Thing was great because this is film quality in a TV medium.
Playing you definitely was not worth all this.
Or was it?
Oh my God, I got to play a superhero for DC. It's like the 8-year-old boy in me was just jumping for joy. The Blue Devil isn't, James, he's insane. I come, I know my lines, I get it done.
And I know firsthand about Ian's work ethic.
We first met when you hosted Chip and Dale's The Live Stage Show in Vegas, which I did as well. We got a chance to work together. And that's where I saw what a hard worker you are.
You can't show up with the Chip and Dale's with a muffin top. Who you kidding?
You showed up jacked.
Because I knew I couldn't stand on stage next to you if I had a muffin top. You can't be flabby and rip your shirt off. They're gonna boo you.
And while Swamp Thing is coming back to our screens, the same cannot be said about 90210.
That was very disappointing. We did 6 episodes. It tanked. I don't know whether it was because of the content being that it was pretty meta. We were talking about our real lives. Time will tell. We're all still good friends, so we keep in touch.
We'll be watching Swamp Thing starting October 6th on the CW.
It's time for today's See Her Celebrity Spotlight. Each week, our See Her Celebrity Spotlight series celebrates women in the entertainment industry who are bringing talent and authenticity to the roles they take on and off screen. Led by the Association of National Advertisers, See Her is the leading global movement for gender equality in ads and media. If you can see her, you can be her. Well, this week we're shining the spotlight on Lily Collins, the actress starring in the new Netflix series Emily in Paris. And speaking out about female roles in Hollywood, here's today's See Her Spotlight.
I'm Emily, your new neighbor.
Lily Collins is headed to France, following acclaimed hits like Rules Don't Apply.
I decided when I won a talent contest that maybe I'd give it a go in Hollywood.
And To the Bone.
How do you do it? Eat, I mean.
The actress is now taking on Emily in Paris, a new dramedy series from Sex and the City creator Darren Star.
I think I'm really driven to characters and stories that allow for so much more to be told within the female storyline. I never wanted to be like the token female in a story.
Very sexy, no?
Sexy or sexist?
Darren known for creating unforgettable female characters, but Lily focusing on pursuing strong roles regardless of gender.
It's just not appealing to me to play someone who is just there for whether it's eye candy or the female perspective. You need more than that. It shouldn't matter about the gender. It should matter about their drive and their perspective on the story.
Lily using her roles as opportunities to grow not only as an actress, but also as Lily.
I want to know that by playing this character, I will learn things about myself as Lily, as a human being, but also through my craft. And I don't really have any interest in just playing the girl.
You can catch Emily in Paris streaming on Netflix now. For more information, head to seeher.com or visit @seeher2020.
Up next on Celebrity Page TV, she was the queen of morning TV while he was a hit in late night. Now Kathy Lee and Craig are teaming up in a new movie, next on Celebrity Page TV. Welcome back to Celebrity Page TV. Kathy Lee Gifford and Craig Ferguson both hit it big as talk show hosts. Now the two are finding love as actors in a new romantic comedy. Here's our Hollywood insider, Arthur Cade.
This is Regis and I'm Kathy Lee.
That's right. For years, audiences woke up with Kathy Lee Gifford.
It's all opposite black.
And went to bed with Craig Ferguson.
I've had too much to drink. I've had too much to drink. I've had too much to drink.
Now the two former hosts are starring together in the new movie, Then Came You.
These are your Spanx.
I don't wear Spanx.
It's a wee bit of Scottish humour there.
What's it like having a romantic movie together?
Well, for me, it's a dream come true. I've been in love with Craig since I met him on the Drew Carey show a gazillion years ago.
You were very nice to me when we were on that show. I was in on that sitcom. She was a big, big star, and she was still nice to me.
Kathy Lee, who also wrote and produced the film, playing a widow traveling the world who winds up at an inn owned by Craig. It isn't long before sparks fly.
Let's get drunk. Sometimes you're very cute.
You're good looking as well.
Wow.
As well as me. I'm still good looking.
I had him in my head. In fact, it was your wife, Megan, Craig, who said, you got to do this. Boy, does Kathy get you.
Yeah.
I had his voice in my head and I had to write this movie for him.
That's true. My wife read the script before me and said, you got to do this. She's nailed it. This is the best thing anyone's written for you.
Then Came You with co-star Elizabeth Hurley is available on digital and on demand now. For Celebrity Page, I'm Arthur Cade.
Well, the wait is finally over for fans of The Walking Dead like myself. Not only are we getting a new episode for season 10, but we're also getting a brand new spin-off series. Here's today's What's Trending.
I can't believe we just left her in a ditch.
It's hard to believe, but the last time we saw a new episode of The Walking Dead was nearly 7 months ago, as the show said goodbye to Denai Guerrero. Then, with a real-life pandemic hitting, AMC announcing the final episode of the season would have to wait.
Together, we will fight, and that's how we will survive.
Now the wait is over. The highly anticipated Season 10, Episode 16 finally dropping on October 4th. The same date, a new Walking Dead series premieres.
Our new show is called Walking Dead World Beyond, a brand new story where people and society have become much larger and we're rebuilding now.
The first generation to grow up in the post-apocalyptic world, now exploring it for themselves.
We are doing our best not to be afraid of it, to be fearless and to learn as much as we can and experience as much as we can.
Get ready to see how the new generation survives as the Walking Dead universe expands. The Walking Dead World Beyond premieres Sunday, October 4th on AMC and streams on AMC+. And have no fear, the original Walking Dead still has one final season to come in 2021.
Now let's talk about our favorite daytime dramas. Soap Opera Digest editorial director Stephanie Sloan is back. Stephanie, always great to see you. And let's start with a special anniversary for a Days of Our Lives star.
Camila Bannis is marking 10 years on the soap, and she talked to me about her favorite moments on it. Her favorite scene partner is Galen Gehring, who plays her on-screen brother. She tells me he annoys the heck out of her, but she also really loves him. Her favorite day's experience is getting to meet the fans at personal appearances and seeing how much the show actually means to them. And her favorite thing about hitting the 10-year mark is that she's so proud to be playing a Latina character so that younger girls out there can see that there's someone on television who looks like them.
Well, over on The Bold and the Beautiful, they're tackling a really important storyline, and you talked to the actress playing that role.
Jacqueline McInnes Wood is portraying her character Steffi's addiction to painkillers, and she tells us it's been extremely challenging. Jackie says because of the quick pace of filming, she doesn't have time to get into a dark place and has to tap into her emotions right away because she can't fake it. She tells us that this story has touched her to the core, and it's been such an honor to do it. It's a heartbreaking crisis, and she's happy that Bold and Beautiful is having the conversation about it.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. We'll be sure to check out the latest issue of Soap Opera Digest.
Still to come, all the brand new hotspots to visit in Vegas as the city tries to get back to business. Next on Celebrity Page TV.
Time for more hot headlines in the Celebrity Page feed. Let's check in with our social producer, Ricky Cornish.
There are some iconic family bands out there, from the Jacksons to the Osmonds. Now the family band Echo Smith hopes to have similar success representing a new generation. Echo Smith taking the streaming world by storm with their early hits. Now the band dropping their latest album, Lonely Generation.
If you haven't heard it yet, you're gonna be like, whoa, this is me right now. Every single day.
How ironic that you released an album called Lonely Generation, and here we are, lonely.
I know, it literally couldn't be more accurate. It's never not gonna be relatable because people in general all over the world feel loneliness, but this has just made it so apparent in all of our lives.
Sydney also releasing new music of her own by collabing with Steve Aoki on New Blood.
He always just puts out great music and does so many awesome collabs, so I was just so honored to be one of them.
For more music interviews, visit celebritypage.com.
Welcome back to Celebrity Page TV. I'm Sonia Isabel in New York City. Here's James Vaughn in Las Vegas.
Now it's time for Vegas headliners. This week's Vegas headliners are all the new venues that are opening or reopening. Ever wondered what $1.8 billion looks like? Check out the new Allegiant Stadium. It's the new home for the newly transplanted Las Vegas Raiders, and yes, the team won their home opener. Not far away, it's the brand new Area 15, not to be confused with Area 51. This art and entertainment complex is truly out of this world, and it's open to the public now. Over at the Bellagio, the famous conservatory and botanical garden, now with the brand new Into the Woods theme. And finally, the Park MGM and Nomad also back open, and this time they're smoke-free, a first for the Vegas Strip.
Stars like Jenna Fisher love getting creative in the kitchen, and food expert and TV host Ellie Krieger is helping us spice up our cooking with an unexpected ingredient, California grapes. It's today's Celebrity Kitchen.
I have some great ways to level up the most on-trend dishes in a way the whole family will love.
and it involves one of my favorite fall and winter fruits, grapes from California. They're in season now through January, but basically just adding them to avocado toast, for example, transforms it into something totally fabulous. I'm adding some black and red grapes to this kale salad, and suddenly you have a punch of color, a punch of flavor, and great nutrition added right there. Also take your basic sheet pan chicken dinner. Chicken and vegetable, it's great just the way it is, but add some grapes onto the sheet pan, and suddenly you have something truly fabulous. So for more tips and recipes, go to grapesfromcalifornia.com.
International Coffee Day just passed, and we're pretty sure stars like Emma Roberts got in on the celebration. Let's send things out to barista Erica Voney with some expert tips on how to make the perfect cup of coffee at home.
So let's start with the beans. There's so many varietals and roasts to choose from, and if you're totally stuck on what kind to get, you can't go wrong with a medium roasted blend. It's a great starting point. Also, check out the flavor notes on the bag because they can guide you to the exact coffee you're looking for. But my biggest tip is to make sure that your beans are fresh. Freshly ground coffee will get you a stronger aroma, which enhances flavor. I also recommend storing your beans in the bag they came in, away from direct sunlight. Milk is coffee's best friend, and everyone prefers their coffee a certain way. Adding real milk is great, and I recently came across Fairlife Ultra Filtered Milk, and I like it for a lot of reasons. For starters, it's super creamy, with 50% more protein and 50% less sugar than regular milk. Plus, it's lactose-free and has no artificial growth hormones. And they make coffee creamers too, which is great, because a lot of people use creamers at home, and they're a good option if you like a little bit of flavor added in. There's a million ways to enjoy a cup of coffee, and none of them are bad or wrong. And there's no better time than now to try new things at home, just as long as you enjoy it.
The life and tragic death of Whitney Houston is re-examined this week on Reels in Autopsy: The Last Hours of Whitney Houston Re-Examined. Here's your first look. In the series, Dr. Michael Hunter takes another look at the overall health of the music superstar, while her close friends and colleagues remember what made Whitney Houston stand out.
No one ever really seen it before. That height. So beautiful, and so much control and effortlessness.
Part of the reason why Whitney Houston was so great is because she was raised in the gospel tradition. The way that you sing has an effect on your voice. Because of her gospel singing, she was sort of doing early vocal exercise, so her gospel training was crucial.
See more on Autopsy: The Last Hours of Whitney Houston Re-Examined, Tuesday, October 6th on Reels. Welcome back to Celebrity Page TV. I'm Sonia Isabel in New York City. Here's James Vaughn in Las Vegas.
Welcome back to Celebrity Page TV. Well, it used to be that Election Day was just that, one day. But now voters are casting their ballots weeks in advance. Here's today's hometown celebrities.
Election season is in full swing. You can see hundreds of people here.
Yes, early voting is underway in multiple states across the country. Some voters waiting in line for hours to make their voices heard.
We're here because we're not taking any chances that the attacks that undermine the Postal Service or to discourage voters have an impact. We want to get our votes on the line.
I feel very strongly about this election, and I could not wait to cast my vote another minute. So I don't care how long we have to stand in line, it's worth it.
Comedian Cal Penn also doing his part, launching a new series to encourage young people to vote.
Your vote can make a huge difference. It's not just the presidential election, it's also local races, state races, your city council, your neighborhood council. All of those things could be a difference of whether you and your 10 friends actually showed up to vote.
Catch Cal Penn approves this message Tuesdays on Freeform.
From Hollywood to your hometown, this is Celebrity Page TV. We're covering pop culture news from around the world. I'm Sonia Isabel in the CelebrityPage.com New York City newsroom.
And I'm James Vaughn, working remotely, keeping you covered on the West Coast. Here's what's on today's episode.
She's the queen of true crime TV. Today we're chatting one-on-one with Nancy Grace about her 2 TV shows about to drop.
Also, no tricks, only treats as Hollywood hands out heaps of new Halloween horror. From Adam Sandler to Scooby-Doo, we've got all the new movies.
Plus, they're the biggest names in country music. We're catching up with Dan and Shay, Luke Combs, and Kelsey Ballerini.
We're so glad you're with us, so let's kick things off with the star-studded cast of the new film, The Boys in the Band. Just 2 years after opening on Broadway,
this is gonna be fun.
The play The Boys in the Band is now a Netflix movie.
To spend this much time with such a great group of people and get to repeat that experience in a new form
It's unlike anything I've ever done before.
This old college friend of mine is in town, but he's straight, so... Do you really think he doesn't know about you?
The groundbreaking play about 9 gay men in New York City first performed in 1968. Both the Broadway revival and the movie featuring an all-star cast that includes Jim Parsons, Matt Bomer, Zachary Quinto, and Andrew Rannells. Our Hollywood insider Arthur Cade talking with the stars about bringing the story to streaming.
How exciting is it to bring this groundbreaking project to the Netflix audience?
The film is such a great representation. It's different in many regards, but it's such a great representation of what we did on stage. And so I'm glad that so many people who weren't able to make it to see the show on stage will get to see this version of the story with this cast and director. I want people to see as much theater as possible. If it's on a streaming platform, that's great. If it's live, that's even better.
Zachary, what do you hope the experience is when people on Netflix get to see this show? Because it was such a tangible experience on Broadway.
Longing for acceptance, both from within themselves and in the world around them. Longing for love in whatever form that takes, I think, is something that anyone can relate to. And so I hope that is what's triggered in audiences.
I think it's important to see the history of where we come from, and that these men were going through life in a much, much different experience.
These are 9 unique gay experiences. And I feel like that's groundbreaking. In the past, you would see one gay character.
We have a right to empathy, and we have a right to tell our stories as raw as possible and not be judged as an entire community.
Ryan Murphy has been very, very good about telling LGBTQ history and putting people back into the narrative in these historical venues.
I think all of us are incredibly proud of what we made, and I think it will just be one of those ones that we'll always remember.
It's not like the relationship that we built sort of ends with the release of this movie. It's something very lasting and something that really imparted something unto me.
I know I'm changed from it, and if it is the best experience I ever end up having, I couldn't complain. I could go to my grave happy.
The Boys in the Band is out now on Netflix. We want to talk more about this trend of bringing Broadway shows to streaming platforms, from The Boys in the Band to the upcoming adaptation of the musical The Prom for Netflix, and of course Hamilton on Disney+. I'm joined by the editor-in-chief of BroadwayWorld.com, Robert Diamond. Thanks so much for joining us. And what do you think about all of these Broadway productions coming to our living rooms? Is that a good or bad thing for Broadway theaters here in New York?
I think it's a good thing for now. I think it's good to get performers working again. So I think anything that gets and keeps the Broadway community working while also getting more people excited and interested in seeing what's on live stages when it's safe to do that again is good for the industry as a whole.
Well, Sarah Jessica Parker recently said that she's hoping to open her play Plaza Suite with her husband Matthew Broderick next spring.
We start previews March 19th. We open officially April 19th. Wow. And March 19th will be a year and 7 days, the day that Broadway was shut down.
What are you hearing about when Broadway might finally reopen?
What we hear consistently is it'll probably be rolling sets of dates. So there will be some shows that come back earlier than others because they have small casts, like Plaza Suite does, where she's co-starring with her husband, so one assumes they're quarantined together. But as far as overall timelines, it's going to come from the government first, and we're hearing some shows are hopeful for spring, some might be summer, some might be fall. I think we're going to see rolling dates as we go through 2021.
All right, thanks so much, Robert, and we hope to see you back in a Broadway theater soon.
Nancy Grace has got to be one of the busiest women in television, and now her popular series Injustice is back for season 2. Thankfully, Nancy made time to talk to me all about it for today's one-on-one.
Many cases may have been resolved in courts, but not resolved in my mind.
Nancy Grace taking Injustice seriously. Now the former prosecutor back with new episodes of her Oxygen series, Injustice with Nancy Grace.
To those viewers who are new to the show, tell us a little about it.
So when I hear that the system failed, it's like a kick in the stomach because I have been the system for so long.
2 pieces of evidence were excluded from the trial.
Nancy shining a light on court cases where she believes the legal system got it wrong.
Why do you think these injustices happen?
Honestly, because nobody cares. We look for injustices that need to be made right.
She wanted to call the police, but if she did, he would kill her.
Nancy also working as a victim rights advocate, acting as a voice to those without one.
Nobody ever thought they were going to be a crime victim. Nobody thinks that. And then it happens, and suddenly people start backing away from you like it's your fault. It's not. And then when the system fails, oh no, that's not okay with me.
And the star keeping busy with other TV projects.
You're so busy. This isn't the only show that you have on TV right now, right?
Right. Bloodline Detectives is about to premiere on October 3rd. This is all about the use of forensic techniques to crack cases that seemingly were improvable.
You're the last person anybody wants on their back.
Locked and loaded.
Injustice with Nancy Grace premieres October 8th on Oxygen.
The fall TV premieres just keep on coming. Today we're getting a sneak peek from the stars of several new primetime shows. Let the fighting begin. Cinemax premiering season 2 of its hit show Warrior. Hollywood insider Arthur Cade chatting with Dustin Gwynn about what's next for the action series.
What's happening in season 2 of Warrior?
The audience, I think, will really enjoy the season because everything is just more dramatic, more fun, visually bigger.
Catch new episodes of Warrior Friday nights on Cinemax.
What your parents discovered may well be a threat to our entire galaxy.
Another hot show returning for a second season is Pandora. Noah Huntley unveiling some key plot points for the sci-fi series.
The show has moved from the Academy, which locked it into the Earth in the future, and is more mission-centered in season 2.
Pandora returns Sundays on the CW.
Everybody got God on their side in the war. Trouble is, God ain't telling nobody who he's for.
Switching to brand new debuts, Showtime premiering their drama The Good Lord Bird starring Ethan Hawke. Based on the best-selling book, it's the story of an unlikely duo trying to end slavery.
It's told from the point of view of this character named Onion. He was an enslaved boy that was welcomed into John Brown's family, who was played by Ethan Hawke, and he was an abolitionist that was going around the world in the 1800s freeing slaves, ending slavery.
The Good Lord Bird drops Sundays on Showtime.
I'm your friend, right?
Right.
Who are you talking to in here?
Eliza. She's asking me stuff.
No, Eliza doesn't ask questions, she just answers them.
And we're all guilty of using too much technology, but what if our gadgets are smarter than us? Arthur Cade talking with Fernanda Andrade from Fox's new series Next.
Do you come out of this filming this show and you're like, holy cow, what a world?
Yeah, you see it, right? There's a camera in front of every store and in front of every house, and everybody has a camera in their hand. You know, how far have we taken this?
Next premieres October 6th on Fox.
Up next on Celebrity Page TV, don't be tardy to this party. From 90 Day Fiancé spinoffs to a Dr. 90210 house call, we've got all your reality show updates next on Celebrity Page TV.
Welcome back to Celebrity Page TV. It's a big week for reality show premieres. From the new 90 Day Fiancé spinoffs to Don't Be Tardy and Dr. 90210, we've got it all covered in this reality reel.
Only 15% of plastic surgeons are women.
Dr. 90210 is back. The reboot putting a spotlight on female cosmetic surgeons in Beverly Hills. Celebrity Page TV getting a preview from Dr. Kat herself.
I really want women just to feel like they can be themselves, and there really are no rules for what you're supposed to look like or how you're supposed to be in your own personal life. Everyone should be able to be viewed for their capability, what they're able to do.
Catch new episodes Monday nights on E!
Have you ever cheated on me?
You could call it TLC's version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 90 Day Fiancé bringing back two of its many spin-offs for fans of the franchise. The second season of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, airing new episodes beginning October 11th.
We're still trying to work on our relationship.
And one day later, fan favorites Chantel and Pedro returning with new episodes of The Family Chantel.
I need to get some more wine.
OG Bravo celebrity Kim Zolciak-Biermann is also back, rounding up the kids for a nationwide road trip in the new season of Don't Be Tardy. The new season premieres Tuesday on Bravo.
I've never even seen a diamond this big before.
And over on Lifetime, season 2 of Marrying Millions is wrapping up. The stars giving Celebrity Page TV a sneak preview of the finale.
We have a cease and desist.
Yes. The episode is much different than the whole season, so flaws come out.
Yeah. See how the season ends Wednesday on Lifetime.
Even though some communities are canceling trick-or-treating this year, Hollywood is still serving up some Halloween delights. Here's what's trending during this spooky season.
Halloween's upon us.
Leave it to Adam Sandler to help rescue us during this unusual pandemic Halloween.
Mayor, I suggest we cancel Halloween immediately. We ain't canceling a damn thing.
Adam playing the lovable loser Hubie, who has to save his community from an escaped criminal. With a cast that includes Julie Bowen, Kevin James, and Kenan Thompson, Hubie Halloween is the hero we all need. It drops October 7th on Netflix.
Keepers! It's the Creepers!
Speaking of crime fighters, Shaggy, Velma, and the whole gang are back in the new animated movie Happy Halloween, Scooby-Doo. Watch them team up with Bill Nye the Science Guy as they battle possessed pumpkins. It's available on digital and DVD starting October 6th.
There is a place where these horrors are transcribed.
Call them Huluween, the streamer going all in with the scary new movie Books of Blood on October 7th. And the terrifying new anthology series Monsterland starring Caitlin Dever. It's streaming now.
If you do something really bad, how do you undo that?
Over on Amazon Prime, they're teaming up with Blumhouse to release 4 new horror films this month, including The Lie starring Joey King.
I'd watch my back if I were you. Watch my back all you want.
And Lifetime giving us 6 scares with their new series, Fear the Cheer. Vivica A. Fox, part of the squad of creepy cheerleaders. New episodes debut each Saturday.
You messed with the wrong cheerleader.
Happy Halloween. That's today's What's Trending.
Time for more hot headlines in the Celebrity Page feed. Here's our social producer, Ricky Cornish.
October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, and one notable actor is opening doors for the disabled community.
Can you imagine this smug on a normal body? I could have ruled the world.
You may have seen Matt Fraser in American Horror Story Freak Show, but now the actor is creating and starring in Crypt Tales, a collection of 6 short films written, directed, and performed by a person living with disabilities.
All these people, gainful employment in the industry that they've been dying to break into, they want to see it portrayed in the lives that are supposed to be portraying reality in the way that everybody else is. All we want to do is be part of the party, and we enrich it and make it better.
You can watch Crypt Tales on BBC America. For more TV news, check out CelebrityPage.com.
Welcome back to the CelebrityPage.com newsroom. With so much time spent inside over the past few months, we can all use a beauty refresh, and Zendaya is showing us exactly how it's done. For today's Hollywood Beauty, we're sending things out to lifestyle expert Chassie Post for her top beauty picks for fall.
Hey there! I partnered up with some of my favorite brands for these super helpful beauty ideas. First up, if you're in need of a quick hair refresher this fall, you guys are going to love one of my favorite time-saving hair hacks, Colab Dry Shampoo. It's an incredible formula that instantly refreshes your hair and absorbs oil, leaving no white residue. You don't get that typical dusty feeling of a dry shampoo. Plus, it's invisible, so it's perfect for all hair colors. In an independent study, it was rated 10 out of 10 for performance and tested on all hair colors and textures. I also love that Colab is vegan, cruelty-free, and under $6. So next up, we have a skin must-have for fall. The Brightening Probiotic Plus C Renewal Cream brought to you by Andalou Naturals. They're the #1 facial skincare brand in the natural channel. And this ultra-hydrating and protective cream is powered by fruit stem cells and vitamin C, which supports skin's vitality by targeting sun-damaged, dull, dry, and overexposed surface cells while promoting a lighter, tighter, brighter appearance for a luminous complexion. It's also great for skin concerns like acne scars, texture, and tone. Hello, fall radiance. And lastly, I have a secret weapon for dry skin. This is certified organic rosehip oil from Sukin, Australia's most beloved and #1 natural skincare brand, and it's like liquid gold. This multi-use product contains no less than 70% essential fatty acids, amazing for maintaining the healthy building blocks of the skin, and has vitamins to help soothe, soften, and hydrate the skin. This natural cold press wonder ensures that dry and mature skin is left feeling plump and nourished for a truly Australian glow. For more information on all of these products, head over to inthenews.tv.
Stars are passionate about raising awareness for childhood cancer, and one incredible organization is helping to change the lives of those affected. It's today's Giving Carpet. Northwestern Mutual Foundation recently giving kids with cancer a once-in-a-lifetime experience, a virtual event called the Ultimate Camp-In.
Research has shown that camps, particularly camps with kids who have illnesses, it provides a good respite for them to get away, escape their day-to-day reality, It builds self-confidence. They have the opportunity to meet with other kids who are like-minded, who are going through similar experiences, and just the chance to be a kid again.
With lots of different activities, the event bringing fun for the whole family.
It included everything from ballet dance lessons provided by the New York City Ballet. We did cupcake decorating. Monique Coleman from High School Musical and Julie Gordon from Cake Camps worked with the kids on how to decorate cupcakes. They had an opportunity to do Q&A with the voice of SpongeBob. We had a magician. So just a host of activities to get these kids to engage.
For more information, visit foundation.northwesternmutual.com/camp. Reels continues its true crime report on one of the most notorious serial killers in history in Ted Bundy, The Survivors Part 2, Ending the Evil. This special sits down with more women who almost became victims of the infamous serial killer and reveals with chilling detail how they managed to survive. Celebrity Page has an exclusive look at how college student Kathy Kleiner survived an attack.
And it was a dark shape, a dark figure. I couldn't make it out. His arm raised up. He brought it down and hit my face with such force that it shattered my jaw. When he knew that I was still alive, I was crunched up in a ball, waiting for the next blow.
See more on Ted Bundy, The Survivors, Ending the Evil, Saturday, October 10th on Reels.
Welcome back to Celebrity Page TV. A lot of us have been stuck in our homes for months now, and that includes some of our favorite country music stars. Our Nashville correspondent Sam Alex talked with some of the stars to find out how they're keeping busy.
What's a show you and Morgan have been binge watching that you're maybe embarrassed to admit?
Me and my husband are rewatching for like the third time The Office right now.
I've watched a ton of The Office. It's just like
always on.
Always great. My husband and I went all the way into the deep end of Veep. We watched like 4 seasons really quickly.
Below Deck. She watches a lot of Below Deck. There's the sailing one and the Mediterranean one. Yeah. I've seen all of those.
I am excited for the new season of Pen 15, which is like this show about these two girls that pretend that they're in 7th grade in like the early 2000s. So it's definitely like made for me. This time at home it's been a blessing in disguise, getting to spend time with the families. And we were super geared up for the tour. We put a lot of work into it. Super bummer, but we'll get back to it in 2021. It'll be great. But this time it's like, you know what? We wouldn't have otherwise taken this much time off the road. So let's just try to enjoy it, make the most of it. And I know it's been a great time for you with a newborn. And yeah, it's been there's a lot of silver linings to it for sure.
All country stars, they're just like us. Well, that's going to do it for us today. On behalf of Sonia Isabel and the entire Celebrity Page team, thanks so much for watching. I'm James Vaughn. We'll see you right back here next week. And of course, we've always got you covered over at celebritypage.com for your daily trending stories.